Hello RC enthusiasts, I'm James. Welcome back to Motion RC, and we got another awesome video for you featuring two brand new products available now at motionrc.com. These are coming from Heng Guan. These are going to be 1/14 scale US military Willys style Jeeps, and these things are awesome. They are meticulously detailed. They have combination of both metal parts and plastic parts. They are capable of four-wheel drive, as well as has lights, sounds, all those bells and whistles that you're gonna love. And they're really nice because they can look pretty good up against our 16 scale RC tank. So if you're looking for something a little extra on your battlefield, this is where you go. But now before we get to playing with them and plugging them in and showing you how they work, let's go over all the features of these two awesome Jeep Willys. First things first, these Jeeps come fully assembled and ready to run. So whether you go with the tan one or the green version, you're gonna get a transmitter and you're gonna get all the accessories that you see here. These Jeeps, again, are four-wheel drive with a 2-speed transmission, so you can really play around with some slow and faster speeds, but they're not gonna run too fast. Again, they're 14 scale, they're more scale models than, racing around Jeeps. These models have a fully detailed interior, and what's awesome about the interior as well, you can see all the gauges and such, they also are illuminated. So when you turn the lights on, you're gonna see the lights coming through the dashboard, and it looks really great. You got a nice scale figure in there, and you're gonna have a nice scale model. They come with a realistic sound system. So again, you're gonna hear the beeping, you're gonna hear the engine sounds, all that good stuff as you drive around. Adds that extra realism. You could set each model up two different ways, one with the big machine gun on it without the top, or you could put on that optional canvas roof. So however you want to, decorate your Jeep Willys for whatever battlefield you're going for, that's up to you. These models come with a complete sticker set, so all the stickers you see on these models are placed on by you, and they're very easy to do. They're not water slide, they're just vinyl, so you just press them on and peel off the top, and they go on really nicely. The models have metal chassis rails and a metal drivetrain, so you can see underneath here, they are really flawlessly done. Just like some of the other previous models Heng Guan does, they really go in on their drivetrains and their durability. Another great feature is the operating winch with a metal hook. There's a button on the transmitter where you can pull the winch or release the winch, and you could pull things with it, but all around just a super cool addition to a small 1/14 scale Jeep. And lastly, you got a functional spare tire. So the spare tire that's on there for show is actually an extra tire if you need it. You can use it on the truck anywhere you wish if you do need it, but it is there and it's nice to have. The transmitter is a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, again with all the functionality you expect to see. So you can trim the throttle, trim the steering, and you've got multiple controls for controlling the lights and things like that. The model comes with a 600 milliamp 2-cell lithium battery, and it also comes with a USB charger. Charges up in about 20 minutes when you plug it in, but it's going to give you a good runtime. And then lastly, all the extra little scale details, like the shovel and the axe that are on the outside of the Jeep, those are actually all metal. The machine gun is all metal. The steering wheel's metal. Like, there's a lot of metal parts around that really add to that realism of the overall package in this Jeep Willys. So there you have it for all the features, guys. We're gonna play with this one right now. This is the tan version. And again, you're getting the transmitter, you're getting everything you need. And you're gonna see in the manual, this set of switches, different combinations of the switches are gonna allow the functionality of the A, B, C, D buttons. I haven't really had to play with them since I opened it up because everything seems to be set up, at least out of the box my way. But in the manual, they give you a nice readout that will show on the screen here for how easy it is to change things around. It's just dip switches up top, and then that's going to make things function however you need it to function. But overall, it's a beautiful package. I did want to show you it up against a 16 scale tank. So this is a 16 scale Sherman. I think of the Willys, World War II, going up against the 14 scale Jeep, but they play really nicely. They look great when next to each other. We do sell figures that are seated in the seated position, 16 scale figures that I wish I had one on me, but I'm going to get them soon to put in there. But they would work, or if you could find some, outsource some on your own, that's also great, but really goes well together with the overall tank battlefield. So now taking a look inside, I did want to show you because out of the box, you're going to get all the pieces and you add the stickers on yourself. But these are the optional pieces that come with the canvas hood. So if you wanted to swap out from the machine gun, I kind of dig the machine gun on there. It'd be great having a gunner on there. But what you would do is you take the included screwdriver and you look on the back, and there is a little screw right here. So you undo that one screw here, and then you're gonna see the whole gun mechanism comes right out really nicely. They do give you this little piece here that if you wanted to, you could see the hole from where the machine gun is. I could barely notice it, but that will cover that spot if you wanted to. And then you would just screw that down inside with the same screw you used for the machine gun, and that'll hold it in place. And then when you want to put on the canvas, you do have your roll bars here. So you just pop these out. And they're just sort of pulled tight. You can pull the whole thing out of this slot on the side once it clips in, and then it goes on this side over here. So there's little holes, and it sort of rests. The back roll cage will rest against the part where they were resting previously. And now what you're also want to do is take off the spare tire. Take a little X-Acto knife or something. It just sort of rests in there, and then it comes out. It just sort of clips in. It doesn't, you know, it shouldn't break, but there'll be another screw back here to keep that on. So let's remove that screw. We take out our gas can, and you're gonna expose the 3 slots. That's where the back part of the canvas roof will rest. So when you place that over the top, you see it all meets, and then they give you 3 screws that are included. They have sort of like washer-like heads on them, and those are the 3 that you will install to hold this in place. So once you put in those 3 screws, then the top part sort of just sits right on top. So you see there's 2 little nubs here. The roll bar will go into the back of will push up against that back plate. And then this will press down. And then there's little clips on the inside for the front roll bar to sort of meet and clasp once you press that into place. So now the back is locked, then the roll bar will lock inside like so. I don't know if you can see that there. And there you have it. So then that would be with the optional canvas roof on it, all around super cool. And then you would obviously add your spare tire and your gas can to sort of cover all those screws in the back if you wish. And then when you want to take it off, again, undo the 3 screws. I'll go back to the machine gun for this purpose. And very simple to make the change. So there you go. So it takes a little time to just manipulate it from one position to the next, depending on how you want to use your Jeep Willys. I like the machine gun look to it. The machine gun does swivel though. So if you're gonna be driving, I'm gonna lock that down with a little bit of clear tape just so it doesn't move. I don't need it moving all that much. If you really wanted to, you could probably just glue that down if you'd rather it just in that position. That's completely up to you, but all around, super neat. And I love that that gun is all metal. I mean, that is really cool, so you're not gonna have to worry about that breaking. But looking around the Jeep itself, again, that interior is super cool. All the parts, like I was really surprised to see that these 2, the axe and the shovel, are both fully painted and fully metal. I thought that was really awesome. In the back here, on the back rear passenger seat, that's where we're gonna place our battery. And you can see you got just the lead in there, and that's gonna fit perfectly with the battery that they give us, the 2S LiPo pack. Plug that in. We're gonna rest that in here. There you go. So I push that in like so, and that's gonna give it enough clearance for it to close nice and neat. You'll never see it back there. And then opening up the hood, that's where you're gonna see all the electronics. So that's where you're gonna turn on the Jeep itself. There's a little button down here that you can see. It's a little push button. Might be hard to see, but that's where we're gonna turn the Jeep on when it's time. But all around, you see all your wires, everything neatly assembled in there, nice. And it has 2 magnets. It's a magnetic hatch. So the hatch is just gonna go down. It does have like a sort of a clip, so you wanna push it down, but once those magnets are tight, you're not gonna have any issue there. And then taking a look underneath, take a look at the drivetrain itself. All metal where you want it, which is really nice. Nice shocks on the on the front and rear. So I find that really cool. The operating winch on the front, you can see the little motor is tucked away on the back. And that will release the winch and then bring it back in. So we'll show you that here in a little bit when I turn it on. But all around, super neat. So I think it is time to turn on this Jeep. I'm gonna push some of this stuff out of the way here. So now the transmitter itself does take 4 AAA batteries. They get placed in the bottom like so. Two positives and 2 negative orientations. Just down the pistol grip. And then on the top is where we're gonna turn on the transmitter. Turn that on first. It's waiting for signal. That's what all these different color lights is. Gonna push the Jeep. And you can hear the startup sound right off the bat. And then the solid green light on the transmitter is what goes. You can see our turning. So when you turn, you've got blinkers and blinking, the blinker sound. And again, these are things you can turn on and off through all those dip switches on the transmitter itself. So if you don't want that, you don't have to have it. And then when you go forward, so it does have some speed to it. And is proportional control. So that's full throttle when I hit it. That's very lightly on the throttle. You can see I can proportionally control the steering on it, which is cool. Now some of the buttons up top, I'll show you again. You see all the lights, but let's go, there we go. If you push in the D button, the winch is gonna go on its own. So I could let it go, but you wanna keep it nice and taut. And then when I push the D button again, that stops the function of the motor. And then when I push it again, it's just gonna rotate in. So what you wanna do with this when you're tightening it up is hold it tight like this. Make sure it gets in there, and then you're gonna push the button right when you get it to the point where you don't want it to go anymore. And that'll stop that. So all around, super neat. The A button off the bat is gonna give you a little horn sound. So that's kinda cool. The B button is what's gonna control our lights. So you got flashers, you got solid, off. So now, as I said with the manual, all these dip switches are gonna do different things. Mine came out of the box like this, with just the 6 button up. Now, each one is going to, again, control a different variation. So I wanted to adjust the sound, because the sound out of the box was really loud. So what I did was, based on the manual, push the dip 7 switch up, and then A becomes up on the volume, and B becomes down on the volume. If I want to shut the volume off entirely, I'm going to go to the 4th switch, number 4, and I'm going to flip that up, and that will turn the sound off. So you get all the functionality without the sound. If I want to turn all the lights off, that's going to be dip switch 3. So when I push up on dip switch 3, all the lights are now off. Now you don't have to worry about those either if you didn't want the lights. I like the lights on. Dip switch 1, it says, would invert the throttle. Dip switch 2 would be able to invert the steering if you wanted to. I don't know why you'd want to do that. 3, as I said, is the lights. 4 is the sound. 5 would be the backup function. 6 is brake mode switching. Then 7, again, turns the A-B switch into the ability to adjust the volumes. Then dip switch 8 would allow the C and D buttons to do what the A and B buttons do with the throttle up and down for the adjusting the throttle. So if you want more speed or less speed, that's how you would go about it. So these 14 scale military Jeeps from Heng Guan are really fantastic. I've enjoyed both of them. Taking them outside, having them work around your tanks and such, just look really cool. I wish I had some scale figures. I'm gonna have to put them in there, but I have a link to all the scale figures we have available in the description down below, because we do sell some that you'd be able to add just to give it more realism to, to these Jeeps. But all around, super functional, super fun. They're not the fastest things in the world, but they're a great beginner option for an RC newbie into maybe RC scale military vehicles, because again, they don't go too fast, but they have a lot of cool functionality that are going to be great for a kid or even someone new to this RC game, because they look great as well. If you're just a fan of the military, the Jeep Willys is kind of iconic from World War II forward. You can always see Jeeps all around, and it's nice to even just have on your desk as a static model. That's how good these look. But the fact that you get that operating winch, you get the lights, you got sounds, you've got metal parts, you've got different options for making it open air or closed, all around super, super, super neat and very easy to function as well. The manual really lays out everything. Putting it together, I didn't get any video of assembling it. Again, the assembly is just adding some of the bits around and mostly putting on the decals. That's where you spent your time going. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. You shouldn't have any issues putting these things together. But all around, guys, I enjoyed making this video for you, and I hope I answered any questions you might have about these brand new options. You're gonna find links to both the tan and the green one in the description of this video. And if you have any more questions or comments, please leave them down below. Always helps the channel. What also helps the channel is you hitting that like button and possibly even the subscribe if you like it, because we're always coming out with more videos about the newest releases and the greatest products we have to offer here at Motion RC. And even if you don't click those buttons, but you want to support Motion RC, then the best thing you can do is head to motionrc.com or motionrc.eu and purchase your next RC favorite toy. Because whether you like scale military vehicles or tanks, or you like RC planes, boats, cars, you name it, we've got it at Motion RC, and we'd be happy to have you as a customer. So that'll do it for us here, guys. Until the next video, we'll see you then. Bye.